Hello, my name is Yaroslav Pankowski and I'm a solution specialist at Encore Business Solutions. Today, we are going to speak about how to use dimensions in reporting. And this post forms a part of the series dedicated to the topic of dimensions. Let me show you other articles dedicated to the same topic which are posted on Encore blog. So the first post in the series discussed dimensions and dimension values, so definitions were provided, and also different types of dimensions were discussed. The next post was dedicated to how to create dimensions and dimension values. Next post discussed how to assign dimensions to master data and GL accounts. Finally, we have discussed how to block dimension combinations in Dynamics NAV or Business Central. Again, today we are going to speak about how to use dimensions in reporting. Two applications are discussed in this connection, so NAV 2018 and Dynamics 365 Business Central. I have put a plus here because the same tools that we are going to speak about today were available in earlier versions of these two applications and will likely be available in the future versions. Therefore, this post may be of interest to both the users of the previous versions and to users of the future versions of these applications, as well as, of course, these particular versions too. So, how to use dimensions in reporting. So there are two major tools that we are going to discuss today, and they are account schedules and analysis views. And we are going to touch upon these topics as far as dimensions go. We are not going to discuss those tools in great detail because those are quite big topics and we would require two separate articles dedicated to each topic at least. But we are going to again discuss what is pertinent to dimensions in connection with those two tools. And both account schedules and analysis views are used to build your own reporting tools. So you can that way avoid any external help, such as a developer, and build your own reports. First of all, let's speak about account schedules. So here we are in the application NAV 2018, and let's locate the tool. If you're using Accounting Manager in NAV or Accountant profile, then you can locate the required tool in the ribbon. So in this case, I can go to the Analysis tab and go to Account Schedules. In both applications, you can also go to the search box and search for Account Schedules. So you can see the top choices where you want to go. But also, if you like going to the departments, if you are using NAV, then you can do so and locate account schedules there. So you need to go to the financial management section, general ledger. From there, you will see the reporting and analysis title and the analysis and reporting subtitle. So account schedules are right there on the top. Here it is, so the list of all the account schedules in the system. I have created one to briefly demonstrate the usefulness of the tool and also show how dimensions can be used in it. Let me specify that account schedules consist of two parts. So the account schedule per se, or the rows, so that's where you specify the rows of your report, but also the default column layout, so your columns of your report. And let me show you how that works together. So I'll go to the overview button in the ribbon. And that's where I can set a few parameters that I'm interested in. So you can already see that some numbers appear there based on my parameters and on the rows and columns I've set up. And to keep it simple, I just selected my revenue account. So I'm interested in my revenue account for a specified period. I can break it up by month and so on. So I can change, for example, this criterion to weekday or bigger periods, so quarter, year, and so on. But I'm interested in the month, so that's what I can do. And you can see that I can already specify two dimensions, so I can filter based on one of the dimensions. So I can use my department and my project dimensions. Both of these are my global dimensions. And so this is one of the limitations of account schedule tool. So I can only use 2 global dimensions. I'm unable to use my shortcut dimensions, for example. Another limitation is that I'm unable to show my dimensions as either rows or columns, typically. So, but still, if I want to filter on something, I can do so. So let's see. For example, I'll select one of my available filters here. So for example, sales. Yeah, I'm going to hit enter. Yeah, some numbers have changed because other departments are responsible for my other numbers here. So I'm going to clean it again. You'll see it will change again. You see a few other numbers have been added. So this is how account schedule works. Now, if you would like to go and be able to work with more dimensions, so more than just 2 dimensions, or to be able to work with your shortcut dimensions, as well as to be able to display your dimensions either or as rows and columns, or you can also do both. So you can display your dimensions as rows. For example, you can do your customer group as rows, and then you can also see how your revenue is broken down by area, by customer group. So for that purpose, you need to use analysis views. So analysis views can be located again in 2 different ways, at least. And one of them is, of course, to search in the search box, which you can do in both NAV and Dynamics 365 Business Central. So if you're doing it in NAV, you can straightforwardly type in analysis views, and you can see that it pops up right there. But if you're using Business Central, you'll have to search for analysis by dimension. So you can see in NAV I can do either or, but in Business Central it's only analysis by dimension at this point, at least. But also if I'm using NAV, I can go back to my departments, go again to the financial management. This time I will go to the setup, and I'll go to the administration. And finally, there is a section dedicated to dimensions where I can locate my analysis views. Right now, I have created only 1 analysis view. Similar to account schedules, analysis views consist of 2 parts. So the analysis view per se, as well as the analysis by dimension part. When you create new, it will open the page like this. When you click on the view or edit, so same page. And what you can see here, let's speak about some of the key fields here. So of course, the code, this is the short name of your analysis view. The name, this is a more complete description. Finally, account source, so it can be GL account or it can be cash flow account. Now you can also filter it by the range. So in my case, I'm interested in my revenue, so 4 series, so that's why I filtered it by that. Date compression, how do you want to see your data? I've selected that it should be compressed by month, but other options are available too. Now starting date, because I'm interested in my summer revenue, I'm going to start from the 20th of June 2018. So last date updated, so this is very interesting. Now there are 2 options how you can run this report. One of them is you come in here and you manually update it. Another way how you can do it is you can update on posting. So what's the difference? If you want the system to keep this report up to date at any point so that you or any users in the system can go in and run the report and get the most fresh information, then you probably want to update on posting. And so to do so, you have to click on the enable update on posting in the ribbon. This will put a check mark here, and the system will update it every time a transaction happens that is pertinent to this report. Now, why it may be a good idea to skip updating and posting? Well, sometimes companies create thousands of transactions hourly, for example, and they have also dozens, if not hundreds, of analysis views. And so if you keep updating them every time, then your system can slow down substantially. So in that case, you might want to consider disabling this function, and instead, every time when you need to have the fresh data, you will come in and you'll update it. And so last time, this was updated on this date. All right. So what are other fields? So this field will work with GL accounts only, so include budgets if you'd like to. And also if you don't want to use these account schedules anymore but still want to keep it, maybe just while you're setting this up, or maybe you just want to prevent some users from being able to use it, so you may want to block it. So the dimensions fast tab consists of 4-dimension codes. This is where you specify the dimensions that you want to run your report on. And you can see that my area is included here and my customer group is here. And so they are not my global dimensions, but unlike account schedules, I can use my shortcut dimensions here. And it wouldn't hurt to put another one even if you don't necessarily need it, because only the dimensions that you've selected here will appear, or you will be able to use in your report. So, but I have just included 3 because that's all I need for this report. So I'm going to close this. So this was the first piece you need to set up before you can run the report. So the other one is called Analysis View, and to access it, you have to click on this button in the ribbon. And it will open another page here. So that's how you run your report. So a few tools that are available to you are show lines, show as lines. So what do you want to see as lines? And you see, you can do GL accounts just as you do in account schedules, but also you can do, for example, customer group. And this will show you customer group as lines or rows if you want. And then you can also show columns. Again, you can show periods just as account schedules do, but also you can select one of your dimensions. So let's say I'm interested to see in my revenue broken down by customer group and by area. So maybe that way will help me to identify some of the points where my company can improve. So now the next few things you can specify is the date filter. So for what range would you like to run this? I have set this up to the following range, so June the 20th to the September 19th. So this covers the summer months. Now, if I would like to just filter on particular area or other dimension that I have specified, so area and customer group and department, so I can do it here. But I don't want to do it. I just want to see how my revenue is broken down by these dimensions. So let me skip to the next fast tab, options. So the choice that you will probably be interested in is show column name. And this will show the names of my area dimensions. So not the numbers, so not the codes, but the names, which is much more user-friendly. And finally, you can see the month and appears in the metrics options as well as view as. So you have net change, but also you can see balance update. So I'm going to keep it as is, but you are most welcome to explore other options here as well. But I believe these are the key ones that you will need. So next, we want to run the report. To do so, you just need to click on the Show Matrix. Doing so will expose the reports that you've set. So very simple one based on my criteria. And you can see that, for example, my large customer group has generated this amount of revenue from Europe North, and nothing from America North. But for example, my small customers have generated 35,000 in North America, and also almost 500,000 in Europe North. So this is how you can make this work. Now, what if you want to run your report based not on only 4 dimensions, but for example 6 or 5? So that's perfectly possible too. All you need to do is to go back to your account schedules. So let's do so. And you can see that there is a field which is called Analysis View. So you can add your Analysis View report, which has more dimensions here. Once you've done it, let's run the account schedule report again. And here is what you can see now. So you can see that the additional dimensions that are used in the analysis view are added here. And now you can also filter your data by those dimensions as well. So for example, Europe North, you can see how my numbers have changed. So let's remove it and you'll see they'll change again. So that's how it works. So very, very useful that way. Now, what I should mention is that there are two ways how you can export your data to Excel. One way is if you go to the actions, and you can see the export to, and so you can use create new document or update existing document. So creating new document is creating a new Excel file, and updating, well, pretty much what it says, it will update an existing file. When you may want to update existing file instead of creating a new one, well, if you would like to use the tools available in Excel, such as highlighting something or using formulas, and all you need to do next time is just to pull in the fresh data, but all other formatting will stay in. So that's when you may want to update it. Let me show you something. So I'll create a new document based on this report. There it is. So this is how it looks. Quite user-friendly. So you can save it and send it, for example, to your external stakeholders who are unable to use your system, for example. Also, you can select print, and then you can have a few more options. So it does ask you for the start date, ending date, GL, budget, and so on. It will also can print alternating shading. So for example, first line is white, second line is gray, white, and so on. But also you can see that besides other things, you can specify in what format you would like your report to be. So you can print it on the printer, so on the hard copy, so paper. You can print in PDF, also quite useful for external stakeholders. You can do Word or Excel. So what should be noted is that I mentioned before that there are two types how you can create it in Excel. So if you create it through this function, it will give you slightly different formats than what you've seen before. But I encourage you to explore this way too, because in your particular situation, that can come in handy. You can also schedule your report. If you have an extremely complex report, which will slow down your system, you may want to schedule it to run at night. But most of the time, you can use either PDF, Excel, or print. So the analysis view report can also be exported to Excel. And quite interestingly, by default, it exports to a nicely pivot table. So this is how it looks. And you can play around with this as well, and then save it and keep it in your hard drive or share it with other people. So let me go back to this slide, and I would like to sum up what we have discussed. And today we have been speaking about how to use dimensions and reporting. In particular, we have discussed two tools, such as account schedules and analysis views. And we have discussed that these tools are useful if you would like to avoid asking external people to help you, such as developers, for example. Instead, you can use your own available out-of-the-box tools to build your reports. So account schedules is very useful for day-to-day reporting and can be used with up to 2 global dimensions, which are set as filters. But if you would like to use more dimensions, or would like to use shortcut dimensions in your analysis, or if you would like to expose dimensions as columns or rows, in that case, you need to use analysis views. Analysis views can be combined with account schedules to provide you with more dimension options on the account schedule page. Both account schedules and analysis views can be exported to Excel and other formats. So I would like to take you to Encore website, and this is our contact page. If you have questions about dimensions, please fill out the form and reach out to us, or use one of the available options. And we are happy to provide you with the help and answer your questions. Thank you for watching this video, and thanks for reading this article. Goodbye.